These are the 5 mistakes that you are doing on the carnivore diet that you keep missing, and it's why you're still sick. Mistake number 1, you are cheating, meaning you are doing takeout 2 to 3 times a week. Okay? Yes, you're eating the grass-fed beef, the grass-fed butter, the beef tallow, the eggs and the dairy and the cheese, and you're committing yourself to not eating even any sugar every day. But, 2 times a week, 3 times a week, you go out with your friends and you're like, well, I want to go out with my friends and eat whatever I want on the menu. And you do. And then you feel bad when you go home and you have that bloated stomach, you have that foggy brain again. And now you still have those gut issues and you don't see an improvement yet. Well, let me tell you, you need to commit more. You need to change even more. You need to commit more to the carnivore diet. And the thing is, I know that people want to see a big difference in their gut health and see all the negative symptoms in their body go away after like a couple of days of doing carnivore. And I wish that was so for me. And even though, yes, I saw my own change within a day of eating steak, just the first time I ate steak, I did see a difference. That's not going to happen for most people, and that's okay. Because when you do anything natural to heal your body, it's going to take time. And depending on how long you've had gut issues and depending how severe it is, it may take longer, and that's okay. So this is the thing. When you cheat every week, 2 to 3 times a week, I'm going to give you a little bit of wiggle room and say it's okay to cheat once a week and eat some processed foods when you go out with your friends. I understand. But if you go 2, 3 times a week out with your friends and you eat whatever you want on the menu, I'm asking you to stop. Because let me tell you, when you do that, you're setting yourself back. You're taking multiple steps back in your gut healing journey. And what that means is it's going to take longer for you to heal, which means it's going to take longer for you to actually have more freedom, right? Because the whole goal is using the carnivore diet strategically to heal your gut, get rid of the negative symptoms in your body, and then to actually have time in the future, freedom in the future to do what you're actually doing now when you go out, to go out one day with your friends, even if it's 2, 3 times a week, and order anything that you want on the menu, okay? And you can't do that right now, but you can in the future if you really commit to the carnivore diet. And to me, it's like this. When I go out with my friends, if it's 2 to 3 times a week, I make sure to order what I would deem as carnivore on the menu. And you can find me anywhere on the menu, guys, right? Unless you go to a plant-based restaurant, please eat beforehand. But on the menu at any restaurant, I'm sure they have like some kind of meat dish on the menu. Like if you're at a Thai restaurant, I'm sure there's like a protein special that involves teriyaki, some kind of meat. When you go to a Mexican restaurant, there's like carne asada. So it's a type of flank meat that you can eat and not eat the rice or the bread or the tortilla, just eat the flank meat and that's it, the carne asada, and you're good to go. And most of the time, because people are more uncomfortable with people being plant-based rather than someone who just eats meat, you can just get away with just eating meat on your plate when all your friends are eating something else, because eating meat is more accepted. So I want you to keep that in mind, guys. I know that you wish you could just go to a restaurant, eat whatever you want, and, feel comfortable eating out with your friends and not have to like order something that's gonna, make your friends uncomfortable. But I think most people are comfortable with the fact that you're eating meat. I mean, that's more accepted in the world than veganism. And 2, this is going to help you in the long run, because one day you can go out with your friends in the future and have that freedom to order whatever you want on the menu, even if it includes carbs. And so this is why I'm so anal, I guess, about people being very committed to the carnivore diet, because, a carnivore diet is a very severe solution. It's not normal. It's not something that most people do, is just eat meat. It's usually meat and a side of beans or a side of rice or a side of, asparagus, and it's just eating meat on your plate is a bit not strange. It's just not as normal as most people would want. People meaning us. And so it is a severe solution for the severe problem that you have. You have gut issues. It sucks. And I'm here to help you. I'm here to guide you. I'm here to tell you that doing takeout 2 to 3 times a week is cheating on the carnivore diet, and it's setting you back several steps, and it's not going to help you gain that freedom one day. to do exactly what you're doing now, but without the health issues in your gut, right? Mistake number 2, you eat too much dairy. Now I know dairy is part of the carnivore diet, but if you have severe gut issues, a lot of people actually don't feel well drinking even raw milk because it's just not as easily digested by the body yet because your gut lining is just broken down or you have IBS. So it's better to just avoid the milk. But if you do feel great on it, great. But if you don't feel well, and the only way to know that is to isolate the milk by itself and see how you feel after drinking it. And if you don't feel good, if you don't even feel great, I say just take it out for now and bring it back later once your gut starts to become even more better, starts to heal. Mistake number 3 is eating a lot of histamine foods. Usually people who have gut issues and are doing the carnivore diet don't realize that they also will have histamine issues. They don't even know what histamine issues are. I didn't even know what histamine was until I started to have the symptoms of it, like the sneezing, the runny nose, the coughing, the feeling lethargic and tired after eating a piece of meat. Like, if you're someone that has gut issues, you probably will have histamine issues. And histamine is basically an overaccumulation of having histamine in your body, which is naturally occurring in your body from eating meat or eating fermented foods, because meat and fermented foods have histamine. It's just a lot of bacteria that's built up. And so when your gut is not healthy, the bacteria from these foods can really affect your gut and cause too much histamine in your body. So if you have gut issues, you probably will have histamine issues. Histamine is basically a naturally occurring compound created by your own body. And if you have too much of it, your body may not be able to break it down. And in order for it to break it down and just get it out of the body is when you have the DAO enzyme that's located in your gut actually. And if your gut lining is broken down, your gut actually can't create that much DAO enzyme to break down the histamine. And histamine is really important for your body because it basically tells your body to flush any pathogens out of your body. It lets your body know that, okay, there's some pathogen in your body that needs to get out of your body, and the histamine causes your body to go into a state of defense. So when you eat a lot of like fermented foods, they have a lot of histamine in the foods. Yes, a lot of histamine in the foods, and you're ingesting them while having gut issues. Your body doesn't have the DAO enzyme, or at least not enough of it to break it down. And even in aged meat, you can ingest a lot of histamine. And your body needs to break it down, but you're having gut issues and your gut isn't making a lot of DAO enzyme, and that's super important. So what I would suggest is to avoid the aged meat, or if you don't want to, you can take histamine pills to break down the histamine in your body so you don't have the headaches and the lethargy and the sleepless nights from eating so much meat and from eating just fermented food. Like if you're eating kimchi, I would avoid eating kimchi. I would avoid any vegetables if you're on the carnivore diet, right? I would avoid sauerkraut on the carnivore diet, any fermented foods like even kombucha, because they all have a lot of histamine, because fermented food just naturally creates germs of all kinds, which is normal and fine. And you're able to eat that if your gut is healthy and is able to process it. But right now it's very sensitive, it's broken down and it needs to heal. So I would avoid those foods. But if you are eating aged meat and you don't want to buy straight to the farm meat, which is a little bit more expensive, not gonna lie, you could do what I do, and I take histamine pills, and I'll place it down in the below in the description box. I buy it from Grasslands, and they have a great pill to break down the histamine. It's basically DAO enzyme, I believe from the pancreas, no, I believe from the liver of a cow. And so you can buy liver at the grocery store and just eat that, but I just would rather take the pills. Mistake number 4, you're not eating enough fat. When you're on the carnivore diet, you're running on a fuel source called fat, no longer sugar, so you need a lot of fat. So stop the lean meats. Eat the fatty cuts. Eat butter as a snack. I know, butter, but it tastes really good if it's not so salty. Like, I would try that and see how you feel. Mistake number 5, you're not eating enough salt. Okay, take your electrolytes, put salt in your food. Make sure that you have enough salt in your body. When you're on the carnivore diet, it's detoxing as well. Yes, it's helping your gut to heal, but it's also detoxing because it's such a simple diet. It's also not gonna have to filter so much of the crap that you eat that now it can filter out the crap that is stuck in your body. So make sure you have enough electrolytes to clean out your system and to also retain the water in your body and to move things around and to send the right electrical currents through your nerve signals that it requires salt, enough salt in your body to do those jobs. It's very important. And with that being said, you guys, if you are struggling with pain, overall discomfort, you have a bad memory loss, you have a foggy brain, you can't think efficiently, right? When you talk to people, you can't conversate well either, you feel tired all the time, and most of all, you have a bloated stomach, then you're gonna have to watch my video down below that I created just for you about the 7 mistakes that you are making to not heal your gut, okay? Have an amazing day. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.